This video is going to be focused on the Fillet and Chamfer tools, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to have a whole lot more to talk about on these other than the basics. Note that both of these are available in both sketches if you want to remove sharp edges by either having a curve to them or adding a diagonal line to them. Something like you're woodworking and you want to clean up your edges, or you're working with steel and you want to sand your edges down. That's really what these commands do. So we can do those in Sketch, or you can do it within our finalizing command. When we're working with bodies, we can go ahead and add fillets or chamfers to our material. Working with a fillet, basically you're going to be working with a curved edge to it, so we can select different edges within here and we can add the fillet, we can change the radius, and basically it's just going to add a smoothing line to our parts here. One thing to note with these is we don't have to just use them on lines. We can actually click surfaces and it will select everything around there. So I just go through and get a sectional view here so that I can show that yes, in fact, we have these curved edges on all of our parts. With this, the chamfer tool is just going to be the same thing, except we're working with a diagonal line. I trust you guys can kind of figure out how to work with this yourselves, messing with the different values, but all we're doing is we're going through and we are adding a angled line that normally we want to be the same length on both sides. Note it won't allow us to do it, but why we weren't seeing the preview there was because we were larger than the actual thickness of our part, but it'll go ahead and cut a diagonal line into those. And just to show that it's not curved at all, we can section view and we can see that nice straight line going on there. With this, there are some times where this is going to work great, and sometimes like this where it's not necessarily going to do exactly what you expect it to do. Depending on how you set the size and how close it is to other objects, it may add some funky chamfers such that everything going into the surface you're working with is at that chamfer, which wasn't probably what we wanted for this little boat seat here. However, sometimes it is what it is. Last thing to point out here is within a single command, so long as you're not changing the size, you can select a ton of different surfaces or edges in order to add your pieces to. It really doesn't make a difference. They're all going to be saved on the same one. So unless you really want to have different sizes, normally try to put them all in one command to keep your overall part a lot cleaner. I don't think I have much more to say. Hopefully this rings a bell for you. Pretty easy to experiment with and work with, so take care.